Jose Mourinho, the special one, was sacked yesterday by Manchester United. This, despite the fact that if you look at the trophies won and the win percentage in the last few years, he has actually done better than Klopp and Pochettino. Mourinho has unfortunately cut a very negative figure, whether it be about the players, the opposition, or even the club's hierarchy, and he definitely failed to get the best out of Man United's best players, and he failed to get them to perform to a high level consistently. This is something that the new manager will want to look at. Can they get the best out of these players? Can they improve from the depressing style of football on show over the past few years? And can they excite their fans once again? Only time will tell, but today, one man has been given that opportunity to deliver. And what a man. What a man. Currently on loan from Mould, can this man perform and win a permanent contract, beating the likes of names being mentioned such as Zinedine Zidane, Pochettino and more? If you haven't already heard or guessed, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been named as caretaker boss until the end of the season. Luckily Mould don't start their season until March, but I'm not sure what he's going to do at that point, if he's still there that is. Could this man manage two clubs at the same time? It'd be interesting to see. Anyway, before we have a look, please leave your comments in the comments section. Let me know your thoughts on the appointment and how well you think he will do, and even how you think he will play. If you've got any questions, do not hesitate to ask. Again, leave them in the comments section below. While you're at it, why not hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as well. Don't forget to click on that bell and you will never miss a video. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who may also be known to you as the babyface assassin or super sub, mostly due to his last minute winner in the Champions League final to beat Bayern Munich and clinch Man United the treble. Is this man really an assassin behind the scenes? Will he be able to make the difficult decisions like leaving an underperforming Pogba on the bench? Will he get the youth living up to their potential? Let's go and have a look as we skip to the end of the 2018-19 season. Right guys, so one last thing we're going to do before we have a look to see how this young man has done as Manchester United caretaker manager. Let's have a quick look at his stats. It says that his main role is as a manager. He's not that great as an assistant or a coach, and forget about all the other ones. I do remember seeing a post by someone stating that they thought that this was pointless because it just makes it look messy, but I don't know, I suppose you could have people that are fully trained in all areas. I don't really have an opinion. I'm not really too fussed about it because I rarely look at it anyway. But if we have a look at the managerial stats of this player, good. Nothing exceptional. Obviously he's determined, he's good adaptability, but there's nothing that really stands out there. However, one thing looking down here is the fact that his preferred formation is a 5-1-2-2 defensive midfield wing-back formation. So will Man U be playing with wing-backs? That's one thing I want to see. His second preference is a 4-2-3-1. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he's performed. Let's go and have a look. So we're going to start by looking at the Carabao Cup, and as you can see, he hasn't performed too well. He has gone with the wing-back formation, which is really interesting to see. Won the first game in the third round against Bournemouth. They won 3-1. Both of these games were at home, by the way. A 3-1 victory there. Eric Bailly with a goal, Anthony Marshall with 2. And unfortunately, in the fourth round, they were knocked out to a Crystal Palace side. Matteo Darmian with a red card. They had a pretty strong team, to be fair. David De Gea, Eric Bailly, Phil Jones, Rojo Valencia, Frankie de Jong. Obviously, that's an indicator of a potential player that he has signed. Herrera, Fred, Lingard, Marshall. Very strong side there for Man United. But Darmian was sent off in the 4th minute, and it meant Solskjaer was not going to be successful in his first season. So looking at the FA Cup now, it's a similar story. Again, the same formation. He's playing the 5-1-2-2 formation there. They knocked out Norwich in the third round with a 2-0 victory. Sanchez and Pogba both with goals there. Then in the 4th round they had West Ham. All these games were away, which is weird. The Carabao Cup was all home games. FA Cup was all away games. They beat West Ham 3-0 at the London Stadium. Pogba and Sanchez with goals again. Anthony Marshall popping in one there. And some good performances from the team there. Even Dalot getting a run out as well. So some younger players coming in there. But unfortunately they had Chelsea in the 5th round and they got absolutely spanked 3-0. Ollie Giroud, my man, with a goal. Kovacevic and Thomas Partey, who it looks like they've signed. Let's have a look at him. defensive midfielder. I don't know what they're signing because they've got plenty of midfielders. Okay stats, signed him from Atletico Madrid, so overall he's not performed too well, so not really a player that I'd look to pick up at any time in the near future. So next up we're going to look at the Champions League. I'm going to leave the league until last, but as you can see, in their group they had Ludogorets, Hoffenheim and Barcelona. Mixed performance really by Man United. They lost 2-0 in the first game to Barcelona, despite Suarez getting sent off. That was in the 90th minute though. Vidal and Semedo with the goals there. Ludogorets they won only 2-0 though. That's a game you expect them to win by more. Martial and Sanchez with the goals there. A 1-1 home draw versus Barcelona followed that. Munir with an equaliser after Lukaku gave them the lead. It looks like he missed a penalty as well by the looks of it. Frenkie de Jong getting an injury. And then a draw away to Hoffenheim. And then a win at home to Hoffenheim. Lukaku looks like he's been in the goals this season. So it looks like Solskjaer's influence is working well for him. And then they ended up drawing 0-0 in the last game against Ludogorets, which put them into a knockout round against Atletico Madrid, which unfortunately they lost. Despite... Oh, I thought that was a Madrid player there, but Gabriel Masado, another signing for them, he got a red card after 50 minutes. At that point it was 1-1 and Kalinic managed to make it 2-1, and then away from home they lost 2-0. They got absolutely beaten. Again, a pretty good team. They've signed another signing here, Kieran Tierney. We'll look at the signings shortly. First we're going to have a look at the league, and obviously Champions Leagues and the other cups. They've not performed very well so far. So looking at United's performance in the Premier League, they started off pretty well. Started with a 1-1 draw at home to Watford. Pereira with a goal, but Pogba instantly equalising. A couple of injuries in the game as well. Man City was the next game, where they did lead 1-0. Lukaku with a goal there. Bailey was sent off in the 51st minute for Mahrez. Aguero gave Man City a 2-1 lead before Herrera got a late equaliser. They then beat Brighton, Southampton, Leicester, Tottenham at home. Sanchez with a goal there. He likes playing Spurs, Sanchez does. And then a 1-1 draw away to Chelsea. Not a bad result there. Lukaku scoring against his former club. Giroud with a goal for Chelsea to get an equaliser late in the game. And then wins against Fulham and Burnley before they got a defeat. Their first defeat in the league. And that was to Newcastle on the 27th of October. Matt Ritchie with a goal. Volrak will know this player. He's very, very good. And underrated, I would say. He creates a lot of goals and scores a lot of goals as well. So if you haven't done so, make sure you check him out. In November, they were unbeaten for that month, but they only played 3 games. Bournemouth and Everton, they beat 2-0. Pickford with an own goal there. And Sanchez with 2 goals against Bournemouth. A 1-1 draw away to Arsenal. Rashford getting a 90th minute equaliser there. But again, a couple of injuries to the defence for United. December started off well. They beat West Ham 2-0. Martial Sanchez scoring there. Drew 1-1 with Liverpool. Beat Palace, beat Huddersfield. And then surprisingly, they lost 1-0 away to Watford. Troy Deeney with the goal there in the 79th minute. Man U had a pretty strong squad to be fair. But somehow they lost that game. And after they were still pretty inconsistent to be fair. They drew with Wolves. They beat Cardiff. They beat Man City in the league. Paul Pogba stepping up. Has Solskjaer made this man a big game player once again? Brighton managed to get a 1-1 draw. Lukaku scoring this time, so it looks like he's scored a few goals this season. Has Solskjaer done wonders for him, being a previous assassin up front himself? Southampton, they beat 2-0 really easily, and then 2 back-to-back defeats, losing at home to Leicester. Geza with a goal there, and losing away to Spurs. Now Spurs have got a player who opened the scoring. Yann Villa, pretty good stats, especially mentally. Technically he could be a bit better, but I remember when he was linked with Arsenal. Very good prospect, but I think he was a bit of a bad boy. Ended up going over to Russia. I think he played for Anzi Makalakalaka. I can't remember. If you know the name, put it in the comment section. But but he went over there. Didn't really do much, to be fair. I've not really heard of him again since he's moved over. But he's been signed for Spurs. Can he do it in the Prem? It doesn't look like it, with an average rating of 6.94, 1 goal, 1 man in the match and 8. So we'll see. He did actually go to Saint Etienne. Oh, I thought it was at Kakalakalaka, but it was at Rubin Kazan by the looks of it. Rubin went to Sunderland on loan, didn't really do anything. Saint Etienne took him on. Done fairly well, to be fair, in this season. And then Spurs signed him for 12.5 million. After those defeats, they solidified a little bit, but they weren't consistently winning. They drew 0-0 with Chelsea, beat Fulham, beat Newcastle, drew 2-2 away to Bournemouth. Fred and Sanchez with the goals there. Beat Everton, drew 1-0 at home to Arsenal. Sanchez scored against his former club. And then another draw 1-0 with Burnley this time before a 3-2 away defeat to West Ham. Sanchez, not Alexis Sanchez, but Carlos Sanchez with a 90th minute winner after Felipe Anderson gave West Ham 2 goals in between Martial and Sanchez scoring. They then drew with Liverpool, beat Palace, and then a couple more wins to finish off the season. So let's have a look at the league table. And as you can see, it wasn't a great season. They didn't lose too many games, but they drew an awful lot. So maybe if they converted some of them wins, even if they converted 5 of them, they would have finished in second. So if they won 5 of them games, they would have come in second place. So still not a great performance. But looking at the league as well, it's very, well, no shocks at the top. Man City and Liverpool up there. Arsenal lost less games than Liverpool, Man City. They lost the same as Man U, only 5. They drew 10, only won 23. So again, a couple more wins instead of the draws, and they could have potentially won the league. Tottenham finishing 4th. They managed to get that last Champions League spot. And then Man U, Bournemouth and Chelsea taking out the other places in Europe. Leicester just missed out. They finished 8th. Southampton finished in 9th. And West Ham 10th. And surprisingly, Wolves 12th. Who got relegated? Crystal Palace, Cardiff, Huddersfield. And that's probably likely to happen this season, although Fulham will probably get dragged down. But let's see if they had any top players in the league. So, 3rd top goal scorer, joint 2nd, was Alexis Sanchez with 18. He done pretty well there. Lukaku, for all the expense that he had, he's not even up there. And I thought he actually scored more goals after seeing his name quite a few times when looking at the fixtures. But he's obviously not up there. Only Sanchez with 18 goals there. Anyone on the assist lists? No, but Arsenal have got 2, Mkhitaryan and Ozil. Sorry, I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm just looking at that. Most distance run, anyone on there? No. Key tackles? No. Least conceded? Yeah, David De Gea is in 2nd place. He conceded 26 in 38 games. He kept 17 clean sheets, which is more than Ederson. He conceded 17 in 31. But Becker actually kept more. 19 clean sheets in 11. 19 clean sheets in 11. What am I talking about? 19 clean sheets in 37 games. And Hugo Lloris was 17 and 34. Kepa, 14 and 34. And then Leno with 13 and 33. So it's pretty close there, to be fair. And again, we've just gone through that, so I'm not going to go through there. Most tackles per match. So Matic is in 2nd place behind Kante. 6.15 tackles. Phil Jones in 5th. So, pretty good performance there by him. Most dribbles, you've got Anthony Martial at the top. No other players in there. 5.4 dribbles per game. He got 6 goals as well in 24 appearances, if you include the subs. Most passes, no one's in there. Oh, Elyounoussi, that's surprisingly for Southampton. Let's have a quick look at him. Pretty good dribbling stats. First touch, passing. He looks like a pretty good player, to be fair. Mohamed Elyounoussi. So, 6 goals, 12 assists in 42 appearances. 7.22 for an average rating in the Southampton side. So imagine if you signed him up, you potentially get a better performance out of him. So again, another player for you guys to look out for. And best at hitting target was Romelu Lukaku. He's the only Man United player in this list, but he only managed 10 goals in 23 appearances. So let's have a look at the Man United team and we'll see who scored the most goals. As you saw, Sanchez, 21 and 44. Lukaku, overall, because this includes all the cups, friendlies, everything, 15 in 29. And then Martial with 10 in 35. So, to be fair, they need to get more goals from elsewhere. Assist-wise, no one in double figures. That is really disappointing. Sanchez had 8. Mata with 7, but it looks like he's gone on loan to Everton. Interesting. So I don't know if there is stats from him at Everton. And Ander Herrera, De Jong, Shaw with 5 assists there. So no one really stood out. Average rating wise, Sanchez, best player for them. And then Martial, Lukaku, Phil Jones. So not a great performance. Before we go, we'll just have a quick look at his transfer history. What did he do? Did he get rid of anyone? A couple of youngsters here. Chris Smalling he let go, 15.25 million. Let me know if you think that was a good bit of business. He went to Chelsea. And then coming in, they got, for a bargain, because Arsenal have been quoted like 15-20 million for this player. Miguel Almiron from Atlanta United, 3.6 million. Finishing's not great, but he's got good dribbling, good first touch, good passing. He's got some very good stats, very pacey, minimum of 15, acceleration minimum of 18. But here it says he's a centre midfielder. I thought he was more of either a winger, striker, or the number 10 role. So that's a bit weird, but he's a 25-year-old from Paraguay. Kieran Tierney, 42 million it cost, 42.5 million. But this is an excellent player. He's very consistent with his stats. Look at those. Some of these could be better, but you don't often get players with all double figures, apart from his free kicks. He got 3 assists, 7.09 rating, so he's done pretty well for them. Gabriel Masado, now we saw that he scored a goal earlier. He's got some good mental stats. A bit of a weird one this is really. Doesn't really stand out, but he's more of a right back. Can play at centre back. I wouldn't play him at right back to be fair. He's not got the pace, the crossing. But yeah, 32 years old from Argentina. That was a bit of a weird signing. 20 million there. Probably a last gasp buy because of their injury crisis in defence. Frankie de Jong came in, 22 million, pretty bargain signing. As you can see, he's got excellent stats. Everyone knows about this player. He can be very good, can play defence, defensive mid or centre mid. Happy anywhere, so definitely get him. His average rating's not that great to be fair though, so I don't know if he's been played not to his strengths to be fair. No goals, 5 assists, and then the last player in obviously was in the Mourinho era, Fred, 40 million from Shakhtar. So that is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's performance as manager. If you want to let me know how you think he's going to perform, if you think this is a true reflection on how he will perform and the type of players that he would bring in, let me know. Leave your comments in the comment section, and I'll be interested to see what he does with Man United. Can he turn it around? Can he make them a force to be reckoned with again? To be fair, I think he's going to need a lot longer than 6 months to do that. I think it's just temporary until they find someone. It could even be sooner. Like I said, he's on loan from Mould, and Mould start their season in March. So I think they're going to try and hire someone before then, but obviously they want someone in place for now. So just a quick fix, and make sure you check out my other videos, guys. So I've got some more experiments coming out. Obviously I've done the Ralph Hasenhüttl one previously, as he's just taken over at Southampton himself. So another new manager role there. Check that video out, and thank you very much, guys, for watching. See you later.